Bugatti. Bugatti are that one car brand that everyone knows of. Be it if you're a young child or an old age adult, the word Bugatti is known around the world for their cars. The reason being is that Bugatti are known for creating the fastest car in the world, such as their most popular model, the Bugatti Veyron. If you ever play any car games, this brand will be on there. It is one of the most famous car manufacturers out there. Ettore Bugatti followed his passion to create perfect automobiles ever since he created his first engineering composition at only the age of 17 years old in 1898. In 1909, Ettore forever changed the world of car manufacturing when he decided to create his own path and make his own car, which was the start of Bugatti. He turned engineering into a form of art and strived for perfection on all levels like no one else. In Molsheim, in France, he set the foundation of one of the world's most astonishing brands. It is the home of Bugatti and where Ettore became Le Patron, celebrating a rich and unparalleled 110 years in 2019 of Bugatti, which now they've celebrated this year for their grand tour, which is across Europe. And now we proudly look back whilst embracing an even more exciting future, which constantly living the spirit of Ettore and what he created. Over the years, Ettore Bugatti has designed a lot of Bugattis, and as we now start with the first one, Ettore Bugatti first designed the Type 10 model in 1908 in the dying months of his collaboration with German manufacturer Diesel's Gastronomie-Fabrik. Soon after designing this model, Ettore decided to look for the French manufacturer to further develop his Type 10 and found it in Molsheim, Alsace. He fitted it with two-seat roadster with a 1.1 litre engine and a 4-speed manual transmission. Whilst featuring a bathtub-shaped body style, also the Type 10 had no rear suspension whatsoever. This was the start of Bugatti. Many more models passed the Type 30, which was Bugatti's first passenger car to be fitted with an 8-cylinder inline engine configurator. But as we move on, Bugatti introduced its very last type model in 1955, the Type 251. This exotic two-door roadster was designed by Guglielmo Colombi and featured a quite unique engine configuration. Mounted behind the driver, it has a 2.5 litre displacement and could deliver up to 230 brake horsepower. The Type 251 also featured a newly developed Dion tube independent rear suspension aimed to add a car sports and a whole new capabilities to the car. A year after launching the EB110 GT, Bugatti developed a high-performance variant of its initial model called the Supersport. Featuring a lighter bodywork and a revised 3.5 litre 60-valve quad-turbocharged V12 engine, this model would score an impressive 3.2 seconds on the 0 to 60 mph sprint and top around 260 mph. It was produced in 31 units through 1995, when both the Supersport and GT versions were discontinued due to Roman Attilione's company going bankrupt. This model was introduced by Bugatti Automobile SAS in the Volkswagen Group in 2005 and received the name of former 24-hour Le Mans winner Pierre Veyron. It was fitted with an incredibly powerful 8.0 litre quad-turbocharged V16 engine delivering an immense 1001 brake horsepower. This mid-engine sports car was able to run the 0 to 60 mph sprint in 2.54 seconds and topped around 254 mph. This was to show what Bugatti were capable of and what the years to come and how they broke the world record. Moving on to the line, and now to the most powerful Bugattis. The Bugatti Grand Sport, a Targa top version, unveiled at Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance on the 15th of August 2008, with production beginning in the second quarter of 2009. This was one of the most popular Veyrons made. Moreover, the Supersport, the Veyron Supersport, featuring an engine power increase from the standard 1001 metric horsepower Veyron. This packed in the metric horsepower of 1184 brake horsepower and a reversed aerodynamic package. The Bugatti Veyron Vitesse. As if a normal Bugatti Veyron wasn't enough, the automaker decided to combine the elegance of the Grand Sport with the performance of the Supersport model, ending up with what is known now as the Grand Sport Vitesse. This was one of the last Veyrons made until the Bugatti Chiron entered the world. The Chiron is the fastest, most powerful and exclusive production supersport car in Bugatti history. Its sophisticated design, technology and the performance which makes it so unique, and a masterpiece of art, form and technique that pushes boundaries beyond imaginations. Bugatti owes its distinctive character to a family of artists and engineers and has always strived to offer the extraordinary and the best. Every element of the Chiron is a combination of the remembrance of the history and all the technology which has gone into the Bugatti. The result is a unique creation of the value and breathtaking automotive accomplishment. This year, Bugatti is celebrating its 110th anniversary. To mark this occasion, the car maker launched the Chiron 110th edition and the L'Aventura Noir. This shows the luxury side of Bugatti, giving all the opportunities to all the owners to enjoy and express their cars throughout the mountains, all the fields and all the towns and villages across all Europe. This is what Bugatti means, not just speed, but on how luxurious their cars are and how they treat their customers. However, it seems the celebrations don't end there. Our insiders have informed us that Bugatti is planning to privately unveil a new hypercar at the annual Grand Tour event in September 2019. The car has described a truly pure and spectacular model. This ended up to be the brand new fastest car in the world, the Bugatti Chiron Supersport, breaking over the 300 miles per hour barrier on September the 2nd, 2019. Andy Wallace hit a total of 304.77 miles per hour in a go faster Chiron at the Erlasnia, becoming the first hypercar to break 300 miles per hour. This was the brand new Chiron Supersport.
Growing up, Bugatti to me was the world's fastest cars. From the time that they started back in the 1930s, they were always known as creating some of the world's fastest cars. But for me, the EB110 was kind of the car, I guess, that I knew in terms of the modern era, and was an incredibly outrageous fast car. And then came along the Bugatti Veyron, which broke the world record. And I guess that's where Bugatti is in my mind. They build the fastest, most expensive cars in the world. So my first experience of Bugatti would have been in museums, car museums. So I remember going to a car museum with my father and seeing some what I considered as really old cars. But obviously, reading the information about them, most of them were Bugattis that had, for one reason or another, broken a world record, being land speed record or something like that. And that's really where I first saw them. And then occasionally you'd see them at car shows, and never on the road. You'd never see a Bugatti driving. It was one of those things there. It was super rare, and generally old barn finds and things like that. You know, you'd hear about people, classic cars, collecting them and then rebuilding them. But that was my first experience with Bugatti.
Tullio Bugatti will be definitely remembered for one of the most famous automotive designers and what he has created for Bugatti and the world.